As I said, this will be the last broadcast for Between the Blue Lines for your Hawks 2025-26 season. It has been a joyous one. Thank you for letting me bring you all the action as possible. Season's going to end here a little bit more abruptly than it has in the past, but that's the way the hockey seasons roll. Good things have come out this year. Team play and bonding here has been amazing. Coaching, as always, has been outstanding. Just want to send a shout out to Coach Todd, Coach Brown, and Coach Aaron for all their hard work this year. Girls take the net for the last time. Cheering on Luch. Battling back from an injury Friday night during the game. Played strong yesterday. Unfortunately, we just were not able to get more pucks in the net. So falling to Glenview on Friday, falling to North Shore yesterday. Same situation for the Leafs. But thank you all for tuning in and following along your team and showing their support. Hawks break their huddle and head over to the bench. Kind of easy to find Brownie today. It's a whole lot of brown on brown. All right, we got Gia, Caden, Greta, and Carmen. We need one more forward. We're missing one. Mango's going to make her way out. Puck goes down. Kicks across the blue line. Leafs grab it. Come up the near side wall. Greta stops it. Puts it back in the center. Leafs pushing it up the wall. Goes into the far corner. Grabbed up by Carmen. Pushing it away. Leafs put it down on Luch, and she drops down, covers it up. Stopping the clock at 16:45. Hawks in their white jerseys going left to right here this period. Dundee in their black. Goes over to Carmen on the far side wall. Gia tips that pass around. Caden puts it up to the blue line. Dropped in by the point. Goes back behind the net. Carmen goes hard. Gia trying to grab it. Gia goes off the wall on the near side. Tipped up by Caden. Caden carries it to center ice. Goes off of one Leaf player. Leafs grab it. Hawks going for a line change. Leafs come in, splitting the D's, kicked away there by Greta, picked up by Tater, comes up the near wall. One touch over towards Tater, couldn't quite get it through traffic. Leafs come up the near side, drop it in down low, goes over to the far side corner. Liv gets there, pokes it away, Bus picks up the puck, gets it over to Liv. Liv comes up the far side. Bounces it off the wall, goes down low behind the goal line, looking to center it up towards Bus, tipped away by the Leafs. Liv picks up a stick. Alexa grabs it at the blue line, gets it over towards Philly on the near side. Philly at top of the circle, walking it in, takes the shot off of goalie and up the far side wall. Leafs send this one all the way out and down. And I got a whistle, and that's icing. .15:23 here in the first. Still scoreless. Brownie comes to the dot along with Brookie and Jess. Demi and Jocelyn. Demi with the puck at the blue line, sends it down to the far side hash marks, grabbed up by the Leafs. They send it around the corner up to the near side hash marks. Joss knocks it down behind the goal line, chasing after it. Goes all the way along the far side wall. Demi stops it. Leafs pick up the garbage. Come along center ice, get across the blue line, put it in on Luch. Blocker save, goes back behind her. Picked up by Jocelyn, gets it up towards Jess. Jess going through center ice, tipped away by the Leafs. Brownie battling for it here at center ice. Jess gets it over to Brookie. Brookie goes back off the near side wall. Leafs grab it at the blue line. Brownie picks it up, drops it back to Joss. Joss carries it around and through the blue line. Forwards go for a line change. Leafs pushing it up in through center ice. Up the near side. Tipped away there by Kendall. Kendall grabs it, kicks it to herself, just a little bit out of her reach. Maddie sends it in, delayed offsides. Puck comes up the near side wall. Sizzle tips it away. Jocelyn picks it up, bounces it off the wall. Over towards Kendall. Kendall trying to gather it and send it up ice, tipped away by the Leafs. Back behind the net goes Jocelyn over towards Greta. Greta back to Jocelyn. Jocelyn on the far side post. Kendall had a difficult time getting it out of the zone. Ends up coming back into the near side corner for Greta. Greta goes back over to the far side corner for Kendall. Kendall looks up. Gets a pass over to Sizzle. She taps it into center ice. Picked up by the Leafs. Leafs retreat back into their own zone. Skating around, crosses the blue line with it. Top of the circle, pushed out far. Leafs complete their line change. Shot down low from the top of the slot. Gathered up back behind the net. Comes back up to the top of the point. Shot goes through and all the way over to the far side corner. Grabbed up by the Leafs. Comes up near side wall. Tipped away there by Sizzle into center ice. Leafs drop it down. Alexa grabs this, top of the circle, sends it off the wall towards Maddie. Maddie reaches out, grabs it, puts it back into center ice. Leafs tapping it back around. Greta picks up the loose change. Crosses the blue line with it, goes into the corner. Shot goes wide. Demi picks it up on the far side wall. Centering it up, blocked away there by the Leafs. Leafs send this one into center ice. Gia kicks it away. Leafs grab it at the blue line, put it back behind the net and over to the far side wall. Grabbed up by Demi. Demi's going to skate with it. Shovels it up over towards Gia. Gia comes through the middle, takes a shot, goes off the shin pad, goes into the near side corner with it. Back behind the net go the Leafs. Got 12:20 on the clock. First period still scoreless, 0-0. Leafs traveling through center ice. Drop it in off the wall. Jocelyn's going to pick it up back behind the net. Send it up to the blue line. Gia trying to kick it out. Leafs smack it right back down behind the goal line. Demi's going to go pick it up. Send it up the wall towards Bus. Bus battling on the far side wall. Goes to the bottom of the circle. Greta trying to clear it. Gets tipped. Grabbed up at the top of the circle by Bus. Goes through center ice. Hacking, swatting away was the Leafs. Up along the far side board. Leafs push it in. Put it in on Luch. She paddles it back behind the goal line. Carmen goes into the corner. Tater trying to pick it away. Greta puts it up to the top of the slot. Shot on Luch. She catches that one in the midsection. Stoppage of clock here at 11:28 in the first period. Still scoreless, 0-0. Leafs got a few more shots on the net than we do. Bus coming trying to come up that far side wall. Carmen trying to put it back up. Leafs pushing it and keeping it in the zone. Takes it in down to the bottom of the circle. Puts it back up through the slot. Grabbed up by Philly. Philly comes off the near side wall. Turns around. hits Brookie as she was coming on the ice. Brookie crosses the blue line with it. Goes down far into the corner. Back around to the near side. Tater trying to help out. Up the near side wall. Down low. Brookie trying to pick it away. Ends up going over to the far side. Alexa puts it down low from the far side hash. Puck trying to go through middle. Tip goes all the way down. Alexa's going to pick it up, bounces it off the wall over to the near side where Liv grabs it, comes up the wall, gets a pass up towards Brownie. She tips it into center ice, grabbed up by the Leafs. Leafs send it right back into the Hawk zone. Alexa was there to stop it. Brookie battling at that far side center ice. Leafs come across the blue line. Just a little bit wide of the net, grabbed up by Liv over towards Alexa. Alexa goes up the far side wall towards Brookie. Brookie's pass gets tipped away, picks it back up, puts it back into center ice. Leafs pushing it through. Liv grabs it up the near side wall, gets it up towards Brownie. Brownie crosses the blue line with it. Lost the handle of it as she got across the blue line. Back in through center ice. Leafs on the rush. They take another shot. Leafs catches it. Drops down, covers it up. 9:53. Referee's readjusting the net there with Lit for Luch. Maddie comes up to the dot, goes up to the top of the circle, swatted back over to the near side hash marks. Jocelyn trying to battle for it. Ends up going back behind the net, picked up by Demi. Demi sends it up the boards. Ends up going back in through center ice. Kendall was able to tie the Leafs defenders up. Sizzle sends it to the blue line, grabbed up by the Leafs. Goes over to the far side wall, dropped in. Comes over near side corner. Jocelyn sends it up the wall towards Sizzle. Maddie trying to help out and poke it away. Leafs send it right back down behind the net. Goes into the far side corner. Kendall shielded it pretty well. Shot on Luch. Lost sight of it. Ends up falling down, covering it up. Stopping the clock at 9:12. She at the dot. Leafs win this one back, send it up to their point. They drop it in back behind the net. Loretta battling for it. Lost my signal. Hawks with the puck on the far side and face off dot, putting it in near net. Leafs send it all the way down. No icing, goes back behind. Luch tips it over towards Jocelyn. Jocelyn grabs it up the near side wall. Gets it to Jess. Jess tipping it up to the blue line, stopped by the Leafs. Jocelyn comes smoking in here. Grabs the puck, carries it in, lost the handle of it. Once you hit the top of the circles, Leafs were all over. Puck comes back up the wall. Brownie smacking it back down to the hash marks. Up towards Jocelyn at the blue line. Top of the slot. Shot goes down, gets tipped over to the far side wall. Hawks are on the power play here. Got 1:15 left. Brookie drops it for Jocelyn. Jocelyn's going to grab it on the near side wall. Leafs tap it up, top of the blue line. Shot by Demi gets stopped in traffic. Comes all the way back down. On the power play, we got 50 seconds left. Brownie trying to hold the puck at the blue line. Leafs tip it away. Leafs come back up. Send it in through center ice. Ends up coming all the way back down. Had one hard coming on Greta. Bouncing puck back behind the net, picked up by Maddie. Maddie's going to come through center, dust it off around one, carry it up the near side wall. Her pass goes off a leg, grabbed up by Greta. Greta's going to go through center ice, carry it across the blue line. Offside's being called. We got 21 seconds here to go on the power play. Tipped by Kendall in the zone, ends up getting pushed back into center ice. Carmen grabs it, comes up the near side wall, turns back around, Leafs putting some pressure. Maddie picks it up, sends the pass off Greta. Back over to the near side wall. Back in through center. Kendall, top of the slot. Her shot gets tipped. Picks it back up. Puts another shot down on net. And covered up by the Leafs goalie. Stopping the clock at 5:34. Penalties over. Back to full strength. 5-on-5. Gia, Mango, Caden, Liv, and Alexa out there on the ice, along with Big Luch in net. Puck goes back. Leafs grab it, send it up the far side wall. Just around Liv, coming back. Liv swatting away at it. Ties her up, can't get a clean shot. Kicks it up, passes it up to Mango. Mango goes through traffic. Back over to the far side. Gets across the blue line with it. Drops it in down low, chasing after her own puck. Back behind the net. Caden smacking away at it. Mango puts it in through the bottom of the circle. Comes back up top of the circle for Liv. Liv puts it through traffic. Goes over to the far side corner. Picked up at the far side hash marks by Mango. Mango pressed up in the corner. Pulled away there by the Leafs, grabbed up by Caden. Caden back behind the net, trying to give a pass off. Mango is coming off the ice. Tater battling on that far side hash marks. Leafs on the rush, get it past center ice, drop it in down low. Comes all the way back behind the net. Liv separates, grabs the puck back behind the net, sends it up the near side wall. Philly turns around, chasing after it. Grabbed up at center ice by the Leafs. Leafs player falls down, blows a tire, but still is able to get a puck over to the far side wall. Back behind the net. Up the near side wall. Jocelyn battles and keeps it at the blue line. Sends it back behind the net. Puck comes out into center ice. Philly battling for it. Leafs pick it up, drop it in down low. Demi puts the girl into the boards, picked up by the Leafs in the corner, trying to centering pass. Shoved away by Jocelyn. Back up top of the slot. Couldn't get it through traffic. Tipped by Jocelyn over towards Demi. Demi sends it up to the blue line. Comes out of the zone. Leafs got to retreat. They put it down near side. Demi comes back into center ice with it. Gets a pass towards Brookie. Leafs grab it up. Send it back to the Hawks zone. Shot on Luch. Goes over to the far side corner. Luch got a glove on it. Top of the circle picked up by the Leafs. Dropped up and out of the zone. Leafs got to retreat. Tipped into the Hawks zone. Jocelyn comes over the near side wall. Carries it down to the goal line. A lot of pressure. Brownie trying to help out. Jessica grabs the puck. Sends it up the wall. Stopped by the Leafs. Back up in the center ice. Leafs drop this one all the way in. Goes over to the far side hash marks. Demi pokes it up the wall. Kicked up the wall by Brookie. Leafs smack it back down behind the goal line. Pass from Brownie over to Jess. Jess over to Brookie. Brookie carries it across, puts it into the slot. Tipped, carried up, or gathered up at the blue line by Carmen. Carmen drops it back to Greta. Greta looks up, gets it to Jess. Jess looks around, splits the D, puts the puck into the Leafs zone, but Leafs were able to kick it right back out. Carried across the blue line. Back up top of the slot, shot down on Luch. Keeps that paddle down and blocks the shot. Got 2 minutes and 13 seconds here in first period. Still scoreless, 0-0. Hawks getting outshot here, 7-2 so far. Pretty accurate, I think. Maddie comes to the dot. Leafs win this one back from the top of the circle. Far side, couldn't quite get it through traffic. Goes back up against the wall. Maddie and Carmen battling for it. Goes over to the far side corner. Kicked back into center ice. Leafs go all the way back, regroup, send it off the wall. Tipped away there by Greta. Tried to get the full head of steam. Kendall grabs it, sends it off the near side wall. Leafs tip it right back out. Greta carries it back in. Loses the handle of it along the near side wall. Greta with the puck, takes a shot, Blocker save by the goalie. Ends up coming up to the near side wall. Back to the blue line. Leafs retreat a little bit. Picked away there by Maddie. Maddie puts it in the back net. Maddie with the goal here at 1:20 in the first period. Gia at the dot gets tied up. So nobody has possession. Gia puts it down towards the goal line up at the far side wall. Grabbed up by Mango in the slot. Liv grabs it, puts it off a boot, and goes over to the far side wall. Swatted away there by Alexa. Alexa keeps it in the snow pile. Gets it down to Mango. Mango grabs the puck, gets it over to Caden. Caden trying to get a shot off. Tipped away and comes over the near side corner. Puck bounces away. Goes all the way down. That's icing. 32.9 to go. Top of the circle. Gets it down low to Philly. Philly shovels it through the slot. Picked up by the Leafs. Leafs on the rush coming out. Crosses through. Luch with a big save. Got a penalty coming up, I believe. And Jocelyn getting called for a hook. Trying to save the shot there. Yep, Jocelyn's going to go to the sin bin here at 15.2. For a hook. Tater comes out with Philly along with Greta and Carmen. Leafs on the power play. Right shot from the face-off. Tater at the dot trying to push it forward. Smacked down through the circle, gathered up. Goes wide of the net. Goes high up over the net this time. Back up into center ice. That should end the period there. And it does. So end of the period here. Hawks up by 1. This is Frank the announcer coming to you live from between the blue lines at Glenview Community Ice Center. Game 3 of the state round robin tournament. Hawks have fallen to Glenview and to North Shore. So have the Leafs. So both teams have been eliminated from the tournament. And this is a pride game here. It's been a fun and exciting season. Thanks to Coach Todd, Coach Brownie, and Coach Aaron for all their hard efforts this season. Can't give enough kudos and shout-outs to that coaching staff, for the whole Hawks organization for their support behind your U16 National Bound girls. Been an unbelievable season, starting off in Connecticut, winning some games against some top-tier teams out there, and starting off this nine-hell season. Still in contention all the way down to the end of the wire there, and just missing out by 1 goal. All right, getting ready to start the second period here. 17 minutes on the clock. Got a minute 45 left on the penalty by Jocelyn. That's why we only got 4 on the ice there, along with Luch. Greta's passed up towards Carmen, goes off a stick and grabbed up by the Leafs. They sent it into the zone. Leafs go back into their own zone to regroup and grab up this puck. Good pressure there by Jess. Goes in the corner. Leafs go back behind the net. Off the far side, tipped away, picked up at the blue line by Jess. Lost the handle of it. Leafs kick it back into center ice. Goes over to the far side corner and far side hash marks. Back behind the net. Back up to the point, near side circle. Walked it around to the slot. Shot goes a little bit wide and over, travels all the way over to the far side wall. Top of the slot. Shot goes down through traffic. Tipped away in front. Jess grabs it. Goes off the wall and out of the zone and through center ice. Back over to the near side wall. Leafs carry it across. Back up to their point. Brownie comes on. Puck back behind the net and over to the far side hash marks. Gathered up by the Leafs. Walking around the blue line here. Takes a shot. Tipped by Brownie. Ends up going back into the protective netting behind Leach. .15:34 here. Got 20 seconds left on the power or penalty kill. Brownie comes to the dot. Mango, Liv, and Alexa. Goes over to the far side hash marks. Carried around from point to point. Shot goes down. Alexa takes that one off the thigh pad. Trying to gather the puck up. Trying to send it up the wall. Ends up going to the top of the circle. Shot down on Luch. She puts the paddle down. Brownie wins it over the near side wall. Leafs send it back up to the top of the circle, back down to the hash marks, and behind the goal line. Goes in front of the net. Tipped over to the far side wall. Liv picks it up. Goes back behind the net. Sends it over to the near side hash. Alexa trying to get on her horse and get up to the puck. Leafs tapping it around. Gathered up by Mango. Mango sends it back into center ice. Leafs at center. Alexa tips it. Luch paddles it back over to her. Alexa up the near side wall and out of the zone. Leafs stop it at center ice, leave it at the blue line. Liv taps it out of the zone, back over to the blue line. Alexa comes up the near side wall, drops it in. Leafs grab it at the top of their circle, send it over to the far side. All the way over to the near side wall. Alexa kicks that one away and sends a pass up towards Kendall. Maddie putting some pressure. Goes back in and all the way over to the far side corner. How's that not icing? Picked up by Liv on the near side wall. Gets it up towards Kendall. Leafs pick it away. But ends up coming back into center ice. Tipped back in through center. Liv puts it across the blue line. Leafs smack it over to the near side wall. Kendall battling at the blue line with it. Gets it up towards Maddie. Maddie bounces it off the wall, sends it in down deep. Hawks going for a line change. Puck comes off the near side wall. Demi's going to grab it at center ice. Pushing it forward towards Caden. Caden battling at the blue line. Drops it down for Gia. Back in through center ice. Jocelyn has the puck. Sends it off the referee on the far side wall. Mango trying to get a hold of it. Stopped in the little referee circle on the far side. Leafs gather it up, come back over near side. Get across center ice, drops it in down low, goes all the way over to the far side corner. Hawks in their white jerseys going right to left this period. Up 1-0. Caden with the puck, trying to push it forward across the wall. Stopped by the Leafs. They go back behind the net and over to the near side corner. Demi's going to battle for it and send it up to the blue line. Gathered up by the Leafs. She loses a handle of it. Ends up going over to the far side wall. Jocelyn puts her into the wall. Swatting away. Picked up by Gia. Gia sends this one into the bench. And out of play. Far side face-off. Tater comes up to the dot. Trying to win it over to Greta, and Greta gets it. Sends it over to Fuss on the near side. Stops, changes direction, goes back behind the net. Gets it just past Greta. One touch over from Philly over to Tater. Tater, far side circle, tried to take a shot. Ends up drawing the penalty. Hawks going on the power play here at 12-16 in the second. Tater at the dot, wins it over to Philly. Philly gives it to Carmen. Carmen puts it through the slot, goes over to the near side corner, grabbed up by Bus. Bus over to Philly. Philly drops it to Carmen. Carmen loses the handle of it, picked up by Greta. Greta puts a shot, goes through traffic. Philly tipping it away, couldn't get a stick back in position. Greta battling up the near side boards. Leafs kick it out of the zone. Offsides on Greta. No, I'm good. I got my Petro here. Got 1:37 left on the power play. Brownie at the dot, gets it over to Liv. Liv carries it into the zone. Top of the circle, puts a shot on net. Grabbed up by the goalie. Brownie, Brookie, Jess, Liv, and Alexa. Brookie gets it back to Liv. Liv walks it. Drops it back for Brookie on the near side wall. Brookie carries it down low. Hash marks. Try to get it over towards Jess for the one-timer. Goes up the far side. Kept in by Liv. Liv gets it over to Alexa, top of the slot. Down low to the near side dot for Jess. Jess back up towards Alexa. Alexa walks the blue line, takes the shot. In the slot, tipped over towards Jess. Jess trying to swat at it. Brownie trying to get a handle of the puck. Ends up coming up top to Liv. Liv comes back over near side to Alexa. Alexa puts it through just wide. Had a good screen on the goalie. Brookie keeps it away, top of the circle. Gets it back over to Alexa. Alexa drops it down low to Jess. Jess from the near side dot. Trying to shovel it back, but Alexa grabs up the puck. Loose puck in front, and Brookie buries it off the shot from Alexa. Hawks up 2-0, taking advantage of that power play. Had 35 seconds left on that. 10:51 left in the second period. Hawks up by 2. Jocelyn goes over to the far side wall, carries it back a little bit off the draw, gets it over to Demi. Demi trying to push it up towards Kendall. She got tied up. Ends up going back behind the net. Picked up by the Leafs. Taken away there by Sizzle. Back up to Jocelyn at the point. Goes off a shin pad and over to the near side wall. Demi gets there and wins the 50-50 puck. Puck goes up and high in the air. Kendall takes a shot, goes over to the far side wall, grabbed up top of the circle by Sizzle. Tapping it down low for Maddie. Maddie carries it down behind the goal line. Goes through the crease all the way up to the blue line. Swatted away by the Leafs. Leafs carry it all the way through. Good poke check there by Jocelyn stopped the uneven rush there up the near side wall. Got Maddie, Demi, and Kendall ends up coming up with Maddie on the far side wall, carrying it up through traffic. Goes off a boot, back towards Sizzle, who shovels it up into the zone. Sizzle stops it, sends it back behind the net. Hawks going for a line change. Kendall back behind the net, centers it up. Nobody there but the Leafs. Tipped back behind the goal line. Leafs send it high up off the glass, ends up bouncing just over Greta's stick. She had a lined up shot there at the top of the slot, ends up traveling all the way down into the near side corner. Carmen sends it up towards Mango. Mango grabs it at center ice, gets it up towards Caden. Caden trying to throw a pass back, but taken away by the Leafs. Leafs trying to go up the far side wall. Referee steps in the way. Picked up by Gia at center ice. Gia crosses the blue line with it with one hand. Carries the backhand down to the top of the circle, gives it over to Carmen. Carmen spins around, gets it back towards Gia. Gia's centering pass goes over to the far side corner, up the wall and back into center ice. Carmen taps her over, picks it up on the near side, drops it in down low, back behind the net, all the way around to the far side. Alexa stops it. Top of the circle, gets it back down low to Philly. Philly trying to center it up, taken away there by the Leafs. Boss with a backhand shot. .8:19 left in the second period. Taylor comes up to the dot. Leafs win that one back. Send it up the near side wall. Alexa tipping it around. Picked up by the Leafs. Goes back over to the far side. Couldn't get a handle of it. Liv grabs the puck. Lofts it up. Knocked down by the Leafs. They go back behind the net. Liv steps up. Seals the wall. Tater comes in. Grabs it up. Sends a pass up to the blue line. Tip right back to her. Leafs grab it. Bus blocks up the shooting lane. Bus pirouettes on the far side, trying to get a pass up towards Tater, tipped away by the Leafs. Leafs come back into their own zone, up the near side wall. Drop it in down low, is going to go back behind the net. Liv taps it up the far side wall, stopped. Shot goes back behind Luch. Comes up the near side wall, tipped on through center ice. Philly going to chase after it, but the Leafs grab it at the top of the circle. They go high off the glass and up the near side boards. Alexa tips it away at center ice here. Ends up coming back. Shot goes on Luch. Liv sends it back up to the top of the slot, gathered up. Another shot ends up coming back into the near side corner. The Leafs with it at the goal line, trying to send it in on Luch. She drops down, covers it up, stops the clock at 7:03. Got a lineup change here. Got Brownie coming to the dot with rookie. Brownie's going to skate through the slot, carry it over to the near side, take a couple of hacks at the shin pads. Leafs grab it, go back behind the net, tipped away there by Jess, over to the far side, gathered up by Brownie, puts a shot on net, slow roller towards the goalie, ends up coming up the near side wall. Back in through center ice, Maddie pokes it away, gets it over to Jocelyn. Jocelyn carries it up, gets it up towards Jess on the blue line. Jess at the far side hash marks, carries it down low, trying to center it up, stopped by the Leafs. Bouncing over Jess's stick, she regroups, gathers it up, drops it for Greta. Greta bounces it off the wall, picks it back up, carries it down low behind the goal line. Looking for somebody streaking on. Can't find anybody, tipped away by the Leafs, comes up the near side wall. Sizzle taps it back down low, goes back behind the net, picked up by Kendall for a second there, and Leafs poke it away, come up the near side wall. Up towards the blue line. Battle here along the near side boards. Shot goes back behind the net, over to the far side hash marks. Kendall picks it up. Leafs poke it away and goes in through center ice. Got one rushing down. Gonna grab it on the near side wall before it hits the goal line. Takes a shot on Luch. Catches that one just above the logo. Leafs changing out goalies. Just over midway through. Second period here. Along the near side wall, puck goes all the way over to the far side, grabbed up by Caden. She bounces it off the wall and through center ice, grabbed up by the Leafs at their own blue line. They carry it back down behind their net. Off the near side wall. And back into the center ice. Swatting away at it, hacking away. Caden bounces it off the wall, carries it across the blue line. Mango coming back in. Ends up going back behind the goal line. Mango chasing after it. Trying to poke it away. Caden is able to poke it away. Alexa battles at the near side hash marks. Gets it back down towards Caden. Tater goes over to the far side wall. Shoveled up. Liv stops it at the blue line. Leafs come away with it. Cross through center ice into the Hawks territory. Tipped away. Ends up coming up the near side corner. Goes across the slot. Kicked away by Tater up to the far side wall. Back behind the net. Going to be grabbed up by Alexa. Takes a funky bounce off the near side wall. Tater battling at the top of the slot. Leafs stop, pull up. Philly comes in, picks the puck away. Gets it up to Bus. Bus chasing through. Trying to get a shot off. He ends up going back behind the net. Goes for the wraparound, and it's in. Bus getting that one in. Makes it 3-0 here at 3:18 in the second period. Brownie at the dot. Got Brookie on the near side. Brookie ends up pushing it to the blue line. Kicked away, but Leafs couldn't get it out of the zone. Grabbed up by Brownie, top of the circle. Shot goes up high. Gloved over to the far side corner. Grabbed up by Jess. Jess drops it for Brookie, but ends up picking it back up again. Battling along the back wall. Brownie with it, centering it up. Comes up top of the slot. Jocelyn puts a shot, goes off a boot and over to the far side wall. Picks the rebound up. Presses it up against the wall. Trying to find somewhere to pass to. Just away from Brownie's reach. Up the near side wall. Demi stops it at the blue line. Leafs are able to push it through. Come on the rush. Shot goes just wide. Jocelyn grabs at the far side hash mark. Stops, changes it around. Gets it over to Demi. Demi looks up. Gets it over to Brookie on the near side. Brookie comes up the near side wall. And when she got across center ice, puts it on net. Goalie puts the paddle down. Hawks going for a line change. Puck comes over the near side wall. Pushed across into center ice. Grabbed up at the bottom of the dot. Shot on Luch. She catches that one off the chest. 2:10 here to go. Score is 3-0. Hawks. With 2:10 to go. Maddie wins that one back. Puck goes up the near side wall. Sizzle trying to get a hold of it. Ends up going back behind the goal line. Picked up by Carmen. Carmen comes up the far side wall. Bounces it in through center ice. Referee stops it. Sizzle picks up the loose puck. Carries it across the blue line. Leafs stop it right there. They send it off a stick and all the way back into the Hawk zone. Going to be grabbed up at the far side hash marks. Carmen sends it around to Greta. Greta picks the puck up. Decides to pull it up, go up that far side wall. Stopped by the Leafs at the far side hash marks. Takes the puck out of traffic, sends it back around towards Sizzle on the near side boards. Puck ends up getting pushed into center ice. Sizzle chasing after the puck, makes him go back behind the net. Stop, change direction, picked up by Mango or Maddie at the far side hash marks. Kicks it over towards Kendall. Kendall just over Maddie's stick. Shoveled up the far side wall. Caden kicks it over to Maddie. Maddie trying to get a handle on this puck. Caden puts it through the slot. Alexa picks it up near side, puts it in on net. Goalie was able to just drop down, cover it up. 57.9 left here in the second period. Kendall goes over into the corner, swatting away at it. Gia trying to help out. Got Gia, Kendall, or Caden, and Mango. Caden gets it up to Liv. Liv, top of the slot, gets it over to Mango. Mango turns around, pirouettes, tries to put it down through traffic. Liv steps up, kicks it over to Gia. Gia puts it off the backside. Ends up coming up the near side wall. Leafs send it high. Alexa stopped it at the blue line there, but carried it back into center ice. Mango back across the blue line with it. Goes down low. Leafs trying to send it down the wall. Alexa was there keeping guard. Goes back behind the net and over to the far side corner. Up the wall. Liv steps up. Tipped up and back into center ice. Alexa Luch blocks it. Ends up dropping down, covers it up. Tater at the dot. Got 4.7 left in the second period. We will have an ice cut. Puck goes down. Tater takes a big fall. Philly gets it. And that is a horn at end of your second period. Teams are going to head off to the locker rooms. All right, Zamboni has come off. Finally giving us a fresh sheet ice to play this third period. Hawks are up 3-0 here. Chance again to give a huge shout out to Coach Todd, Coach Brownie, and Coach Aaron for all their hard efforts and all that they've put into this season. This will be the last game of your U16's 25-26 season, as they have been eliminated from the state round robin here, falling to Glenview on Friday night and Warhawks on Saturday. Bittersweet. It's been a fun, exciting season. Thanks for all the words of encouragement here to continue the broadcasts out. Thank you very much. Team effort here. Couldn't be done without everyone else taking part some way or somehow. Just huge thanks and big shout out to the girls that are putting together a fine display here of teamsmanship and effort out on the ice. Some of the girls having some fun now. This will be the last period of the season. All right, teams head back to the benches. Breaking the huddle on the bench. Gia going to make her way up to the dot.
And now you're killing them.
Yeah, meaningless. It's just a bragging rights type game for us. We're both eliminated.
Both, right?
Yeah.
It's the last game.
Yeah. Gia at the dot, pushes it forward up to the blue line, grabbed up by the Leafs. They come up along the near side wall. Bouncing it around, goes back behind the goal line. Greta pins him up in the corner. Pass goes across the crease and over to the far side wall, grabbed up by the Leafs. Sent back up through the slot, grabbed up by Caden. Tips it up towards the top of the blue line. Swatted away there by Greta, up along the near side wall. Ends up going back behind the goal line with Gia. Tipped away over to the far side. Dropped, picked up by Carmen. Carmen comes up the far side wall. In through center ice. Her pass back towards Greta gets tipped away and taken by the Leafs. Carmen grabs it, sends it back over to Bus. Bus pushes it up towards Tater. Tater tips it up and over to the near side wall. Chasing after it. Ends up coming up the wall. I believe that was, I'm not quite sure who that was. Philly picks it up at center ice, ends up shoving it back to the blue line, pushes it up towards Bus. Bus carries it across the blue line. Pass gets tipped. Liv puts it down low, goes back behind the net. Picked up by the Leafs. Leafs send it up the near side wall, stop at the blue line, and Leafs pushing it forward. Alexa kicks it out. Up along the near side wall, ends up going back down to Alexa at the near side hash mark. She sends it over to Liv. Liv back to Alexa. Alexa comes back up to his near side. Gets it up to the blue line. Philly picks the puck up, drops it for Brownie. Brownie crosses the blue line with it. Shovels it over towards Bus. Bus turns around, goes up the far side wall. Pass goes off a couple of skates. Bounces it down towards Philly. Demi goes through a set of legs, gets it over to Brownie. Brownie slides it through the slot, picked up by the Leafs. They come up the near side wall. Bounce back into the Hog zone, grabbed up by Demi. Demi sends it up towards Brookie. Just taps it. Brownie controls it, crosses the blue line with it. Brookie tiptoed. Brookie top of the slot. Gets pulled around in a couple of different directions. Loose puck top of the slot here. Demi gathers it back up. Jocelyn chomps over and gives a shot, pass over to Jess. Jess shot. Gets ricocheted and sent over to Brookie. Brookie takes a shot, goes off a boot and almost rolls in the back of the net there. Loose puck top of the slot here. Brownie picks it up, puts it down net on net. Gets kicked away in through the slot. Comes up the near side wall. Leafs drop it in down low. Goes back behind the net. Picked up by Carmen. Carmen blows the tire. Goes into the corner. Picked up by the Leafs. Carmen gets back up. Shovels it up towards Jess. Jess trying to get a pass off. And he ends up going wide and through center ice. Tipped by the Leafs as they go into their own zone. Jocelyn sends it up the wall. Stopped by the Leafs. Leafs get it across the blue line. Pick it back up. Dust it off, goes over to the far side circle. Maddie got twisted up, turned around. Excuse me. Puck goes all the way down. Got an arm up. Got icing. 13-23. Maddie wins it over to the near side. Greta tips it. Gathered up by Carmen along the far side wall, trying to get it out of the zone, as she does. Sizzle taps it over towards Kendall. Back into the Leafs zone. Up the near side. Tipped away there by Greta at center ice. Leafs grab the loose puck. Go along the near side wall. Kendall puts her into the boards. Carmen blocks the shot, picks it up. Couldn't quite get it through traffic. Grabbed up by Greta. Greta's going to cross the blue line. Gets cross center ice, puts it back behind the goal line. Takes a bounce towards the net, picked up by the Leafs. Leafs come up the near side wall. Lex is going to stop it at the blue line. Not quite. Just got out of the zone. She at the dot. Puck goes up in the air, trying to gather it up. Mango puts it up across the blue line. Goes back into the Leaf zone. Up the near side wall. Liv grabs it at center ice. Sends a knuckler in. Going to roll all the way towards the goalie. She swats it over to the far side dot. Gathered up by the Leafs. Leafs coming through traffic. Takes the shot. Goes ball wide and over to the far side wall. Poked up the wall by Alexa. Mango trying to gather it up. Goes through Gia's feet. Liv grabs it, sends it around the near side boards. Liv takes that one off the midsection. Kicks it back into center ice. Leafs looking to stretch it. Gets it up to the blue line. Caden blocks it. Plus picks it up. Carries it in down low. Tried to dust it off a little bit too much, and Leafs come in, pick it away. They go back behind the net. Tater putting some pressure. Comes up the near side wall. Jocelyn stops it before it hits the blue line, walks it in down low, kicks it over towards Philly. Philly dusted it off, goes back behind the net, looking for somebody. Leafs poke it away, comes up the near side wall. Tater trying to step up. Leafs push it around, go all the way into the Hawk zone. Demi pulls it away at the top of the circle, goes over to the far side, gets it over to Bus. Bus is looking to get a pass up to Tater. Tater swats it back into center ice. Jocelyn picks it up in front of the blue line. Smothered there by the Leafs. Looks like offside's being called. Brownie at the dot, comes over to the near side wall. Leafs pick it up, send it down deep. Goes all the way over to the far side hash marks. Picked up by the Leafs. Gathered up by Brownie. She takes a tumble. Leafs send it along the back wall. Picked up by Jocelyn. Jocelyn sends it around the wall. Tipped by the Leafs into center ice. Good pressure there by Jess. Puck takes a funky bounce. Picked up by Brownie. Couldn't get it through traffic. Rookie regroups, gets it over to Carmen. Carmen loses the handle of it, goes along the far side wall. Tipped up the far side boards. Sent in on Luch. Taps it over to Greta. Greta comes around the net. Gets it towards Jess. Jess sends it up towards the blue line. Bouncing puck on Luch, goes over to the far side wall. Sent out of the zone. Back down towards Luch. She gets it over to Carmen. Carmen goes, splits a couple, gets it up towards Kendall. Kendall sends it into center ice, gathered up by the Leafs. They drop it back down low behind the net, behind the goal line again. Greta with the puck, gets it over to Kendall. Kendall's pass over to Jess gets tipped away as she was trying to exit through the slot. Back down behind the net with Brownie. Leafs send it up to the near side wall. Near side hash marks. Back down behind the goal line, behind the net. Over to Greta on the far side. Leafs still with possession of it. Come up through the top of the slot. Dust it off. Couldn't get a clean shot. Brownie loses her twig. Comes into the near side corner. Centering pass. Broken up there by Jess. Picked up by Kendall. Kendall's going to get through center ice. Pushes it up to the blue line. Back in through center ice. Grabbed up by Maddie. Maddie's going to shoot across the blue line. Gets it over towards Sizzle. Picked up by Kendall. Kendall drops it back up to the point. Taken away from Alexa. Got a rush coming on. Back in through the slot. Off the far side post. Picked up by Maddie. Maddie shovels it up towards Kendall. Kendall swits it up to the blue line. Leafs coming back in through traffic. Carry it across the blue line. Luch pokes it over towards Alexa. Alexa gets it out back into center ice. Leafs tried to push it through. Smacked back in by Mango. Comes up the near side wall. Tipped away by Alexa on the near side. Jocelyn sends it back into center ice. Not going to have the distance. Picked up at the face near side dot. Goes all the way back into center ice. Demi trying to control it. Leafs pick up the loose puck. Demi catches this one. Sends it up the far side wall to Mango. Mango taps it up to Gia. Gia crosses the blue line with it. Met with some resistance and lost the handle of the puck. The puck is coming up along the near side wall. Mango blocks that entry pass. Sent back down behind the net. Grabbed up by Demi. Demi comes off the near side wall towards Caden. Back over to the far side corner. Back behind the net. Leafs pushing it all around. Jocelyn finally gets a handle of some loose change. Pins it up the far side wall. Kicking it up towards the blue line. Leafs are able to swat it right back in. Demi sends it back into center ice. Leafs gather it. Come over to the near side. That's offsides. Leafs stopped just before that happened. Tater blows a tire on the far side wall. Puck ends up going in to the Leaf zone. Icing being called. Stopping the clock here at 6:51 in the third period. Jim, what time do you guys play? Tater comes to the dot. Leafs at the top of the circle, put a shot down. Blocker saved over to the near side corner. Up the wall, Greta trying to push it up. Tater goes and grabs it, sends it around to the far side hash marks, plus battling for it. Taps it back behind the net, picked up by Carmen. Tater trying to help out. Leafs pushing it around, grabbed up by Greta. Greta bounces it off the wall to Philly. Philly carries it across the center ice. We lost the handle of it once she crossed the blue line with it. Greta's trying to step up, cause some chaos. Stop the rush there for a second. Leafs end up coming back into the Hawk zone. Shot gets deflected by Tater. Carmen picks up the loose puck. Her pass gets blocked. Another block as it's going to bounce in on Luch. She reaches down, covers it up. Stopping the clock here at 5:57 in the third. Hawks up 3-0. Wearing their white jerseys and going left to right here this period. Final game of the season for your Hawks. It's been a one to remember, the 25-26 season. Goes down to the bottom of the circle, grabbed up by Liv, sends it up towards the blue line. Liv sends it in through traffic. Alexa grabs it in the bottom of the slot there. Stops, changes direction. Stops, changes direction again. Gets the puck up towards Brookie, taken away by the Leafs. Top of the circle, pushed over towards Jess by Brownie. Jess finally gathers it up on the near side wall. Gets it back to Brownie, swatted off of her stick. Jess picks it up at the blue line. Offside's called. 5:29 here to go. Brownie at the dot. Loose puck. Poked over to the near side wall. Jess is going to come up, grab it, send it in behind the net. Jess chasing after it. Drops it for Brownie. Brownie looks around, takes a shot. Goalie was right there. 5:15 to go here in the third. Kendall with the shot off the faceoff. Ends up coming up along the near side wall. Liv down below. Puts a shot on net off a deflection. Caught in the glove. Clock stops at 5:04. Over to the near side wall. Leafs get it. Send it high up off the glass. Liv steps up. Battle at the blue line. Kick back into center ice. Leafs on the rush. Alexa puts her into the corner. Takes the puck away back behind the net. Being helped out there by Maddie. Maddie scoops up loose change. Gets a pass over towards Kendall. Kendall lost the handle of it as she got to the blue line. Leafs put a shot down. Alexa stops it with a twig. Comes over to the near side hash marks. Leafs stepped up. Sizzle's able to push it forward. Tipped back down. Liv battling for it. Top of the circle. Shot. Luch reaches up. Catches that one in the glove. Face off one over to Jocelyn on the near side corner by Gia. Pass into Mango. Goes through center ice. Mango crosses the blue line. Goes over to the far side. Takes a shot. Gets kicked over to the far side. Up the near side wall by the Leafs. Mango hustling and trying to stop the puck. Comes back into center ice. Jocelyn takes an elbow to the face but delivers a puck down behind the net. Stopped and picked up by the Leafs. Coming up the near side wall. Jocelyn stops it. Loose puck goes across the blue line. Jocelyn sends it up towards Caden. Caden carries it across the blue line, takes a shot. Goalie reaches down with the glove, picks it up. 3:34 here to go in the third.
Stop stopping the clock.
Tater comes up to the dot. Philly to the near side, grabs the puck off the face-off. Comes off of her stick, gathered up by Bus. Bus dusted off through slot. Ends up going over to the far side dot. Trying to put it through traffic, taken away by the Leafs. Picked up by the top of the dot, or top of the circle by Tater. Puck goes up high in the air. Shoveled back down behind the goal line by Bus. Up the far side wall. Philly's going to get to the hash marks. Leafs kick it up the far side wall. Got one Russian. Greta chases it down, picks up the puck, top of the circle, carries it back behind the net. Stops, changes direction, puts it up the far side wall. Bus one, times it over towards Philly. Philly goes around one, carries it across the blue line, dusting it off, goes forehand backhand, goes back behind the net with it. Drops it for Tater. Tater picks it up. Drops it for Philly. Philly walks the goal line with it. Puts it across the bow and over to the foot near side wall. Picked up by Greta. Drops it back down for Philly. Philly trying to get it through to Bus, but taken away. Tater steals it at the top of the circle. Gets it down to Philly. Philly with it. Looking around. Sends it up through traffic. Tipped over to the far side circle. Bus swoops in, picks up loose change. Trying to get a pass off over towards Greta. Ends up coming back to her, off a pass by Philly. Brownie on the ice, calling for the puck, puts a shot down, gets tipped, goes through the slot, over to the far side point. Leafs push it back in through center ice. We got 2 minutes to go here in the game. Brownie picks it up, dusted off around one, carrying it through center ice. Tipped and down the far side wall. Comes into the slot for Jess. Jess takes a shot, gets tipped in traffic. Picked up by Brookie. Drops it for Liv. Liv gives it. Ends up going through traffic. Alexa grabs the puck at center ice. Drops it in down low. Goes back into the near side corner. Tipped up at the hash marks. Brookie takes that one off the head. Pushed in through center ice. Gonna go down into the corner with it. Alexa gets there, and it's icing. Stopping the clock at 1:12. Maddie at the dot. Leafs win this one back. Come up along the near side wall. Leafs all over it. Picked up by Maddie at the top of the circle. Try to dust it off, but Leafs come away with it. Send it up to the blue line. Demi keeps it in. Maddie picks up the loose puck. Tries to get it over towards Kendall. Ends up coming to Jocelyn at the blue line. She sends it in down. Goes through traffic again. Back down behind the goal line. Up the far side wall. We're under a minute to go here in the game. Leafs pick it up, cross the blue line with it, and through traffic. Shot goes wide, gets deflected by Luch. Ends up going over to the far side walls. Outlet pass, smack down. Offsides. Mr. Collins is actually happy with the referees here today. .6 here to go in the game. Hawks up 3-0. Caden sends it off the near side boards, goes over the blue line, Leafs grab it, up to the far side, back in through center ice. Shoveled up across the blue line, stopped by some Hawks traffic, ends up going down low behind the goal line into the corner, back up to the point, goes in through traffic, kicked over to the far side wall, and that's the end of your game. Once again, this is Frank the announcer coming to you live from between the blue lines. Thanks for joining the broadcast. Thanks for being part of this memorable season. Hey, you guys can hire me on. It's been a remarkable season, ones to remember. Many, many fun times, hopefully shared by all families. It's a shame that the season's got to end this way, but that's why you play. Going to stay on here just a little bit longer, watch the handshake and the final center ice gathering. As your 25-26 season comes to an end. It's good to come off with a victory. Girls huddle up for one last time. That's what it's all about, folks. Last broadcast of the 25-26 season. It's Frank the announcer signing off.